Rising from nothing, the untold journey of a dreamer. When we look at successful entrepreneurs today, we often imagine that they were born with extraordinary advantages. Rich parents, prestigious education, or a natural gift for intelligence. But the reality is far different. The story you are about to read is of a man who had none of these privileges. He was not from a wealthy family, nor did he receive an elite education. He was simply a young dreamer who refused to give up, even when life gave him every reason to surrender. This is the journey of someone who failed again and again, faced rejection countless times, and yet transformed those failures into stepping stones toward greatness. His name may be famous today, but the struggles behind that name are even more inspiring. The early struggles. Growing up, he did not have the luxury of financial security. His father was not rich, and opportunities were scarce in his small hometown. Education was supposed to be his ticket out of hardship, but even there he faced tremendous obstacles. He applied to university 3 times, and 3 times he was rejected. Imagine the pain of preparing, trying your best, and yet being told, "You are not good enough." Finally, after multiple failures, he was accepted into a teacher's training college. But even this was not considered prestigious. In fact, it was ranked as one of the lowest institutions in his city, something like a 3rd or 4th tier school that people often look down upon. Yet he would later say, "That college was the best university I ever attended. It gave me something more valuable than Harvard or Wharton could have ever given." Why would he say that? Because struggle teaches lessons that comfort never can. That so-called low-class institution built his resilience. It gave him the ability to survive, to adapt, and to look at life differently. Rejections and frustration. After completing his studies, he began teaching. But the salary was barely enough to survive. $10 a month was all he earned. Imagine working so hard, giving lectures, shaping young minds, and receiving so little in return. Most people in that position would have given up or settled for a mediocre life. But not him. Deep down, he carried a belief. A quiet voice that told him life had something bigger in store. He often felt frustrated, even hopeless at times, but he refused to silence that inner voice. Like any ambitious dreamer, he tried to aim higher. He applied for Harvard University not once but 10 times. Each time, he received a rejection letter. 10 rejections from one of the world's most respected institutions. Most people would take one rejection as proof that they are not good enough. But he didn't stop. He kept trying. And although Harvard never opened its doors to him, destiny had something else planned. The turning point. In 1994, his life took a surprising turn. He traveled to the United States, and there, for the very first time, he saw something that would change his life forever. A computer. Back then, in his home country, computers were rare and almost unknown to ordinary people. But when he sat in front of that machine, a spark ignited in his mind. He thought, "This is the future. This is going to be big." At that moment, nobody around him believed it. To them, computers and the internet were strange, unnecessary, even crazy ideas. But where others saw confusion, he saw possibility. This is one of the greatest lessons from his journey. Opportunity always hides where most people see nothing. While others ignored the internet, he decided to embrace it. He was not a programmer, not a technical genius, but he had vision. And vision is sometimes more powerful than skill. The world calls him crazy. When he returned home and started sharing his ideas, people laughed at him. They said he was crazy, unrealistic, even foolish. He was told, "You think differently. Nobody is going to believe in this." But instead of letting their words break him, he used their disbelief as fuel. He often said later, "I never thought I was smart. Nobody believed I could be successful. But I believed." The difference between those who create history and those who simply watch it happen is this belief. He didn't need the world to agree with him. He only needed his own trust in himself. Learning from the giants. Over time, his journey brought him into the company of some of the world's greatest minds. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jack Welch, Larry Page, and Mark Zuckerberg. These were men who had changed industries and shaped the future of humanity. What was the difference between them and ordinary people? It was not money or privilege. It was not luck or even intelligence. The difference was mindset. He observed that these people shared a powerful quality. unshakable optimism. They were always hopeful about the future. They did not waste time complaining. Instead, they focused on solving problems. Where others saw difficulties, they saw opportunities. Finding opportunity in complaints. One of the most powerful lessons he shared with young people was this: opportunity lies in the place where people complain. Think about it. When people complain, they are pointing to a problem. And every problem is also a hidden business opportunity. If you can solve that problem, you create value. You create impact. And that impact becomes success. He explained it simply: when everybody agrees, why should the opportunity be yours? Opportunities come when people disagree with you, when they think your idea is foolish. That is the moment you must think deeply, gather a team, and work day and night to make your dream real. The power of belief. He constantly reminded people, it does not matter if your parents believe in you, or your friends, or even investors. What matters most is that you believe. If you and your team hold on to the dream and work tirelessly, success will eventually come. Everyone begins at the same starting line. What sets winners apart is not where they come from, but how much belief and effort they put into their journey. Message to the young. His most powerful message was directed at the young generation. The greatest asset you have is your youth. Do not waste it by complaining. Let others complain. You must use your time to think, to find opportunities, to act. He warned that too many young people spend their evenings dreaming about great ideas but wake up the next morning and return to the same routine without action. Dreaming is easy, acting is difficult, but action is what separates achievers from dreamers. He urged them, tomorrow is new. Every day is a chance to move forward. Work hard, whether you work for others or for yourself. If you choose to work for yourself, remember this: true success comes only when you help others succeed. Only when you make others happy will you find happiness. The seed of greatness. This philosophy became the seed of his empire. He built his success not by chasing money but by serving people. He believed that helping others was the path to helping himself. That is why, even when things were hard, even when he had almost nothing, he never stopped moving forward. He kept building, kept learning, kept believing. The story of his struggles is not just about him. It is about every young dreamer who feels stuck, who feels rejected, who feels the world is against them. His message is simple: if I can rise from nothing, so can you.